Hi, it's Margarita Cardenas, your host with Urban Traditions, and we're here with the annual report on Earth Day 2013. Well, let me say that Pacifica is an exemplary town that is paving the way and showing the rest of Northern California how to keep those beaches clean. According to Dave McGuire, a shark expert, Pacifica is the only one that's not, beaches are the only ones that do not allow any smoking. So give yourselves a pat on the back. And one of the reasons why that is so is because of Lynn Adams, the president of the Beach Coalitions. Congratulations, Lynn.
Thank you, Margarita.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I'm really happy to be here.
What a success.
Amazing. It was a really, really fantastic day. And just a really wonderful day for the world, actually, I think.
Yes, the sun gods were with you that day. It was a gorgeous day.
So were the whales.
Oh my God, yes.
The whales were jumping off of Lindemar, and they usually are around when we have our Coastal Cleanup Day and our Earth Day. We usually get visited by the whales and or the dolphins. So again, a really, really wonderful day.
Yes. Well, first off, we're going to start with Mandy Hall. Let's go to our tape.
I've been coming and cleaning up the beaches ever since we came here. And last year I decided to be team captain at one of the sites. Came to the celebration and figured, I want to be more, I want to do more. So I was inspired by the Pacifica Beach Coalition, decided to become a member. So I started going to the meetings soon after. Involved with getting ready for the surf movie night, and I was helping get donations of the raffle prizes. And then for today, I was approaching businesses around Pacifica, asking if they wanted to donate to get their business cards in the newspaper, and also if they would sign up for Action. Action is more important than donations, and it's Earth Day every day, not just today. It's our main fundraiser. So every year we have a different theme, we have different movies playing, local directors, and we charge an admission to get in. It's very reasonable, it's a fun night, we have food, we have drinks, and we have lots of great raffle prizes. It's been a great turnout, and last year we had over 8,100 volunteers, and we're expecting that we've beat that number this year. This is the biggest turnout of booths we've had, and the biggest number of businesses signed up for Action and donated for their ads in the newspaper as well. It's amazing. Pacifica is such a small town, and I believe we have more people that care about the environment here than in some of the bigger cities around us. I think the whole community is coming together.
Well, Lynn, she represented you very well. So how many volunteers is here?
Well, you know, it takes us weeks to figure that out. But I know that we already have well over 6,000 volunteers, and I won't be surprised to see well over 8,000 volunteers. And that includes the students who take action during the week. And they have the Shark Assembly, and they do school-wide cleanups, and they do Earth Day projects, and so they get engaged all week long, and some of them even into this week. So that will include those numbers.
Well, we have Mike Vassy. He spoke a little bit. Yeah, you know him. He's a lecturer at San Francisco State University, and he's the past president of the Pacifica Lands Trust.
A part of the tunnel of the tunnel story that we really haven't talked as much about, and is really appropriate for talking about right now, here and now, and as we celebrate Earth Day 2013. And that's really a celebration of the fact that we saved an amazing environment, an amazing coastal environment, Monte Mountain, San Pedro Mountain. I was just up there today. You will all, believe me, you will all enjoy this so much in the future. So, but not only is it the people's tunnel, but it's really a biodiversity tunnel that we should think about when we think about this achievement. Why is Earth Day particularly relevant to this topic? The building of the tunnel was a long saga, and I'm not going to try to go through the whole long saga with you, but I'm going to bring out a couple of highlights. Remember that Earth Day was first celebrated in 1970. That was a time when the environment just seemed to be unraveling. The Cuyahoga River was on fire. Things really needed to be done to save our environment. The year before, 1969, the National Environmental Policy Act was passed, and that mandated environmental impact statements. That turned out to be an extremely important development in the story of the tunnel. 1970 was the year of Earth Day, but it also was another really, really important year, and that was a year that the California Coastal Protection Act was introduced in our legislature, and that was in 1970. People had been working on it for years. Finally, they got it to the point where it went to the legislature, and it failed. And it failed again when they tried again in 1971. And finally, in 1972, with overwhelming popular support for a Coastal Protection Act, it failed again. And that is why we had the Coastal Protection Initiative of Proposition 20 in 1972. And that took away the land use from the cities and the counties, and it gave it to the people.
So Lynn, it's looking beautiful up there. Can you embellish any more on the recent upgrades up there?
Well, the Pedro Point headlands, we've done a lot of planting up there, and we have 3 restoration sites happening that are absolutely wonderful, and we're doing a study on which revegetation method works the best. So this will be a year, several years long process to find out and establish that. But the big news up there is that we now have Highway 1 available, where the tunnel diverted off. So now the old Devil Slide Road, Highway 1, is available to us and is going to be available to hikers and bikers. So we took this opportunity for Earth Day to gather together 30 people, and they went up and they pulled ice plant, or French broom and pampas grass from along the roadside. And it was like candy for all these people, to be able to get their hands dirty and help in a place that is so awesome. And then after they finished their work, they went and did a little walk over to the Devil Slide Overlook to see the ocean. So that was pretty special.
Well, I can't wait to get up there. I'm waiting for an invitation. There has to be a dual purpose for me to go up there.
We'll get you up there. Right now, the access is limited because they're working on the gate area. So there really isn't access right now, legal access. And that will probably change the middle of June.
Oh, okay.
And then once that changes, there'll be more easy access and better parking and easier in and easier out. So it's much improvement is coming our way.
Great news to hear.
Yeah, especially nice that, like Mike said, and to acknowledge Mitch Reed at the celebration and festival, because Mitch really, really had a huge part in making the tunnel be the method that they used. And he really saved all of Monte Mountain, Pedro Mountain, that they would have just paved over with the double-lane highway. So we wanted to honor Mitch and thank Mike for honoring Mitch with that award and for bringing that into our festival.
Great, yeah. Well, it's been a long process. I didn't even know that since the 70s.
Oh, yeah. It's been a 30-year process, apparently.
Wow.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes. Well, every year, the Earth Day Festival saves an endangered species. And this year was the shark, to my surprise. I didn't know this. Let's go to Dave McGuire, the shark expert, and listen.
These issues with the tunnel, with the widening of the highway, you've got a lot of community engagement, and some of the cleanest beaches I've ever seen. So this is the only smoke-free beach in Northern California. Who knew that? That's impressive. We're trying to do this in the San Francisco Bay. I live on a boat in Sausalito, and I see people throwing cigarettes in the water all the time. So with the America's Cup this year, Sea Stewards is taking on the Hold On to Your Butt campaign and try to ban smoking near the water. And I think we're going to try to get some help from the America's Cup. So Sea Stewards is a nonprofit. We're dedicated to shark conservation, and we're trying to restore the balance to ocean health. And I want to recognize a couple of my friends, Paige Finney and Chris Wynn. We're a volunteer organization. They donate their time. Just like all of you, we can make a big difference in our life. We don't have to be crazy like me and lose your wife and lose your house and live on a boat with your dog and try to save sharks. I mean, I've completely dedicated my life to ocean conservation, and I love what I do.
Well, Lynn, did you learn anything new that you didn't know before about sharks?
I certainly did. We did assemblies at 12 schools, and I went to 8 of them with David McGuire. And one of the things that I learned, I learned a lot of things, but that there are 500 species of sharks. And if you add the rays and the skates with them, they go up to 1,200 species. And these species, you think of the sharks, the man-eaters, the great white, and that's actually what people have portrayed them as. But to be honest with you, there are sharks that eat baleen, have baleen, and they eat krill. They have sharks that eat plankton and plants, and there are sharks on the bottom of the sea that take care of all the dead and the dying, and that because of the shark, all of the species are healthier, because the shark weeds out the slow, the weak, and the not so bright. And so because of that, evolution is happening, and these animals are all evolving in a better, healthier way. And so they're very important to the ecosystem of the ocean. And if the sharks are not there, then the fish balance becomes out of balance, and the fish system is gone. And then things that are not supposed to be so populated are, and things that are not are gone. And so therefore the diversity is lost. So I learned that. I learned that there's a number of sharks that are really bizarre. There's a cookie cutter shark that has teeth like a round circle. And when they bite, they don't kill animals, they bite them, and they turn their mouth like this and their teeth, and they take a little cookie cutter size bite of flesh out of the animal, and the animal swims off and lives, maybe a little sore, but it lives, and it usually feeds on tuna and sea lions and otters.
Amazing.
Incredible. And bizarre looking fish. I mean, we know about the hammerhead, which is really renowned apparently for its fins, and it's been almost 1% of the species are expected to be alive at this moment. So 99% of the species are gone because of shark finning, because of the coveted fins. And people are harvesting 100 million, illegally, 100 million shark fins a year for shark fin soup. And it's just not sustainable. These fish species will be gone within 10 to 20 years if we don't come to their aid. And so I really learned the value of our voice, and that it's important for us to teach people about this and to take a stand. And so I really admire David McGuire and all he's done, traveling around the world to get people to take action to protect the sharks.
Well, he was very passionate. He's lost his home and family, he told us.
Yes. He's dedicated his life to sharks. He's dedicated his life, and where the cause takes him is where he goes. He's a filmmaker.
Oh.
So he swims with the sharks. He talked to the kids about swimming with the sharks and how he would be right next to a great white, and they have no interest in us. We're not their food source. If they've bitten us, it's because they've mistaken us, usually. And that would be the reason. And so they have more to fear from us than we do of them. And really, in the whole world, maybe 5 people have been killed by sharks a year. More people have been hit in the head by coconuts, and more people have been hit, falling off a skateboard. And yet they are feared and killed sometimes senselessly, just because of the fear factor from the movie Jaws back in 1970.
True. Yeah, I just from that little bit, I was amazed because, they are the nemesis, you're, oh my God, sharks, but...
Yeah, and actually he went to 8 schools, and Chris Pinsetich went to 4 other schools, so 12 schools, and these kids were taught to love them, and we actually hope that we inspired some people to become marine biologists and study sharks and come up with different systems, and these kids were very engaged, and David received a standing ovation from 300 freshman high school kids in Terra Nova, and a standing ovation, and all 300 of them took the Shark Pledge. And we have a little Shark Hero Pledge and ask people to dedicate, and help come to the aid of the sharks, and they took that pledge sincerely. It was a beautiful thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was powerful.
Yes, wonderful.
It's powerful, and it's so nice to see, and then to back it up and have these kids come to the festival and go out to beach cleanups and street cleanups and parking lots and work in habitat restoration and garden activities throughout the city, all together. I mean, these kids came out in force. And they brought their moms and their dads because they were inspired.
I saw more kids this time than ever, than last year.
There were a lot of kids, and you know, being able to talk to them about the shark and their ability to help the shark by picking up litter, by creating a better habitat and you know, making better, you know, restoring habitat. And they want to help. And if anybody could get a parent to do something, it's a kid.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Now we have some interviews on people that are helping to beautify Pacifica by cleaning and pruning and planting new crops to share with those less fortunate. These interviews are with Jim Sullivan, Al Berman, Mary Petrilli, and Chris Vance.
The folks that are out here cleaning up, you know, are doing it, you know, just out of sheer love of the neighborhood. And again, you know, with the Earth Day event every year, the Coastal Conservancy, the Coastal Coalition are out there picking up stuff on the beaches. We're working our way inland here, and you know, it's just a part of that great pouring forth of that community spirit that is really reflective of what a wonderful community Pacifica is. Yeah, we do that a couple of times a year, but on Earth Day we make sure to do a walk through the neighborhood here on Higgins Road, Adobe, and do some litter pickup, just as a thank you to the neighbors. They put up with a lot of folks parking here and all kinds of, well, you know, a lot of folks use this area here, and I think about 99% of it's good, but you know, some folks do occasionally, you know, let something go out of their hands. So we want to, we actually picked up about 35 pounds of stuff this last Earth Day here on Higgins and Adobe, and we were real glad to get that off the road. Mainly cans and wrappers and things like that, but there was a couple of fairly solid pieces of old kitchen, something that probably fell out of somebody's vehicle. So it was great to do that as part of this Earth Day festivities. San Pedro Road here, we've been using this as a corridor for multi-use recreation for decades, and it, like a lot of old roads, gets overgrown so fast. So that was our purpose up on here on Earth Day, was to come up on this road and brush back the invasives, the Scotch broom, some of the pampas grass, cut back the poison oak so folks don't get, you know, whacked and surprised by that popping up on you. And we're real stoked to have this resource here in the city of Pacifica. It's a multi-use trail. It takes you all the way over to Monte, takes you up to the top of San Pedro Point, can take you all the way to the top of San Pedro Mountain, which is 2,000 foot of elevation. And the horse people use this trail, the bicycle riders, the dog walkers, the bird watchers. You know, it's a great resource for the city of Pacifica, so we've cleaned it up just because we just can't get enough of this trail.
My name's Al Berman. I'm the Scoutmaster of Troop 29 out of the Moose Lodge in Pacifica. The things you can't get done at home, yard work. We're pulling weeds and pulling up the big heavy stuff and just trying to do a good cleanup of the area. The troop once a year does Earth Day. Normally we do Rockaway Beach, but this year they needed us over here. I have big guys, and so where they need muscle, they have a tendency to move us around a bit. It's hard to get them out of the house, but once they're here, they really get into it. I have a really good group of kids. I will say that regardless of what you hear about scouting, it is 95% great. So I think that what it does for boys in general is it teaches them how to grow up, how to be men. It really helps them, gets them out of their little box and out and forces them to do stuff they're not normally able to do, so that when they have to deal with stuff, they're very capable. I've watched these guys grow from 10 and 12-year-olds all the way up now to, they've been aging out, so I've got a couple that are 23, although they're no longer in scouts, they age out at 18. I've had 5 Eagles lately, and they just turn out to be really good people at the end of this.
People who might not have good access or the money in their budget to buy fresh vegetables. Work with Gwen McCormack, we're the co-leads with the Master Gardener program for San Mateo and San Francisco, and we work with Chris Vance, who's an employee of the San Mateo library system, and Chris works in the library and he runs these terrific programs, and he put together the beds along with the Master Gardeners and he keeps it all going and growing. It's a treasure, and it's a treasure because of the wonderful volunteers that give all their time to these things. We have the mix because we're growing vegetables here.
Right.
The side beds are mostly California natives to educate people about things that they can grow right in their backyard that are real drought tolerant. They can grow with very poor soil conditions, sandy conditions, because they're used to growing in the sand, and they can grow with very minimal water once they're established. After the first year, they get only a little bit of water. These hummingbirds age, and so many of these other plants also attract native birds, bees, insects, and wildlife. So you're helping the wildlife and the native ecosystems close by, giving them a chance to drop in and get a little food or a little bit of shelter.
I started this garden, and it's been about 4 years now, something like that. A lot of it goes, 99% goes to the Pacifica Resource Center for needy families in Pacifica. We usually get it to them on Wednesday, and they have a giveaway on Thursday morning. So I'm pretty sure it all goes.
Yeah. Well, Pacifica Gardens and the Sanchez Library, they donate to those that are in need. Are there any other?
Not that I know of in Pacifica, but I know Safeway donates some of their food to the Resource Center as well.
Oh.
So it's nice, and it's wonderful that people can learn about gardening, get their hands in the dirt, and start to grow things. And it was so nice to have both of them participate in Earth Day.
Yes. And, what's the update on the restoration and just planting?
Well, for Earth Day, there was just a wonderful turnout of people. I had a group of 40 confirmation kids from Good Shepherd Church that came together, and they weeded the mustard from the switchbacks going up from Rockaway to Lindemar. And there was just a huge patch, and they just wiped it out. I think they filled a truckload full of mustard plants.
Wow.
And then Al Berman's team, you saw on the video, and those kids, I don't know that they all the way finished, but they really did a big deal. They had 3 truckloads of green waste that they pulled from that little lot between Mildred Owen Garden and Lovey's Tea Shop. And then, of course, the Pedro Point headlands people, they had a 10-yard dumpster that they filled.
Wow.
Full, if not over full, with pampas grass and French broom. And then Valimar Conservancy, the whole Valimar neighborhood cleans up around the creek, and they pull out invasive species. And I heard that they pulled 2 or 3 truckloads of green waste out. So it's so nice to see these people. And now that we have less litter, for this year, we have half as much garbage and half as much recycling as last year, which is meaning that we are doing a better job. We have more people out there cleaning up more area and more space, and yet we have less. And so now we can divert some of these volunteers to doing restoration, because weedy spots collect litter and are inviting litter. Please, it doesn't matter. I'm a dump site. Please go ahead and dump on me. So really incredible stuff that's happening. Jim Sullivan got a team of retired people to go up to Higgins Way, Old Highway 1, and they brushed back so that the bikers and the hikers can walk at the same time and pass each other safely. So they brushed back a lot of the French broom. It would be nice to get a huge team up there and pull that stuff out. Really, that kind of weed just spreads rampant when it's left there to flower.
Yeah.
So, that was happening. Maury Point had a project. Lindemar State Beach, they had 12 to 15 people at Lindemar pulling out ice plant on the north end of the beach. And that beach area will be planted in January and become a native plant for a native area for the snowy plovers. So amazing stuff. And that's in addition to the huge areas that people pick up litter on. And the entire Manor District, Muscle Rock area, Car Park, all the way down through Esplanade, all the way from Safeway and Palmetto and the library and all the streets by West Shore Park. The north end of town by Hickey Boulevard, all of Hickey, all of Manor, the streets connecting. Just phenomenal turnout of volunteers.
Well, it was such a joyous and clean event. You are really listening, Pacifica. And
Yeah, they are.
yes, yes. That is wonderful to see. That means that we're all making an impact, and that's good.
We are really embracing this, and not only just this opportunity for Earth Day, but every day to be the one that makes a difference, to be the one that steps out. And it's visible. It's really visible. And some of these people like Mandy, she adopted a site last year and was a site captain, and she wanted to do more. Well, she helped us with the whole festival site. Paula Texiera, Mitch Reed, 2 people that couldn't be there at the festival got us all going. Volunteers stepped up to put up the signs, Leo and Pete DeJarnett. And Leo and Steve helped plan the festival site and get all the things to be. It's a big process. Have a place for the tents and have it all set up, and the chairs and the stage, and Ian Butler bringing in all the music. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Outpouring of contributions from people from all around, all walks of life. And sometimes when they get involved, they keep being involved. It's just a beautiful thing.
It surely is. Well, we're going to be closing out. And as usual, we have a musical treat for you. But before that, I want to thank Lynn for coming over and giving us an update on all of the Earth Day activities.
You're welcome, and I wanted to make you an Earth hero and give you a bookmark, and also I wanted to give you and your team all a bag from Earth Day.
Yay!
And with the bag ban going into effect, if you haven't already been using these, it's time to start.
Definitely.
It's another thing we can do every day to help protect our resources.
Good. It's the flyer. Yay! Well, I'm all ready. This is just another additional bag. But hey, everybody, good job. And we're going to close out with Celia Malheiros, Rio de Janeiro native. And hey, everybody, above all, you know what? Happy gardening, everyone.
That's right.
Água de beber, água de beber, camara. Água de beber, água de beber, camara. Papa Junday, Papa Jim, Papa Junday, yeah. Papa Jim, Papa Junday, get it, Papa Chidi, Papa Day. Pam chiki ben chiki Papa Namba, Papa Junday, get to take, get in on Dana, Nana, Piru, Papa Judah, Parada Bang, day. Zababa, Pirumba, Bododon, Saba, Pirumba, Bodode, Papa Pirumba, Bajigan, a chicken, yeah. Papa Junday, Papa Junday, Jack, down, ding, dash, day. But do that one jingle, day. Papa, good jingle, chicky, do bed, Pajiku, ting, Baba, Baba, jibble them, jibble, ba, do chicky, do bed, Pajiku, chicky, chicky, chicky.